Welcome to the KBB Unstoppable Business Owner podcast, live from the InstallerSHOW. Today I'm joined by Mark Conacher.
There we go.
From SENSTEC, who have kindly sponsored the episodes from InstallerSHOW. So we're on their stand at the moment. So thank you for that.
No problem. I'm glad you're here. Glad you come along and visit us.
And obviously I've seen you been out and about already. So how are you finding the show?
Yeah, it's been really good. First day of the show. It's been really busy for me today. I've had a lot of talks and just a lot of people to meet, obviously, coming over from North America. No, I don't get to see people that often.
Yeah.
So it's great to get that face-to-face connection. Again, with all the guys from Classic Marble, it's good to hang out with them and just have a bit of fun.
No,
so yeah,
definitely.
But the first impressions has been really good.
Perfect. Bit of jet lag from the journey?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You just power through, don't you?
You know what? I don't sleep a lot. Lots of things keep me up at night.
No, definitely.
So yeah, no, it's been fine. I'm running on adrenaline today when you've got lots of things like this going on. It's easy.
The halls, from speaking to different people, a lot of people have said they can't grasp how big it's just got bigger and bigger.
It really is. Even just the leap from last year. That we see it, bringing in the kitchens and the bathroom side of things last year, and it's just evolving all the time. It's just a great show. It really is, and it's bringing all the different aspects of the business, the industry together. But again, when my love is installation, so that's when it comes from that angle. I'm always in the element.
That's something I wanted to talk to you about, because I think, obviously, it's called the InstallerSHOW. It's kind of evolved into lots of other areas within the show, like you say, with the kitchen and bathroom. Looking at where it was last year, was very. It is a lot bigger, the kitchen and bathroom scene this year.
Yep.
So people have come back.
Well, that's
you guys,
great.
This is the first time you've been.
This is the first time Classic Marble have exhibited here. Again, the draw of this is a place to be.
Yeah.
They've really done an amazing job in and where they're going with this. They've got the InstallerSHOW New York next year. So again, the whole brand is evolving.
Yeah.
And so maybe we could do this over there next year. But it's a great brand, and I think people want to be part of it. It really is. It's good and it's busy, and people are excited. I think installers bring that kind of vibe into a trade show. They really do. It's fun and it's exciting.
Okay. So earlier I was talking to Tom Baldwin, and they've just become one of the first to get the AIM accreditation with BiKBBI. Well, not to be called that soon. With that, I think you've obviously just joined them on their advisory board as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Really, really excited. I've always been a supporter of the BiKBBI and the work that Damien and the crew have done from back in 2009. I first was introduced to them, and so for this to evolve, to support them, to see what they've done, to see them grow, to see them change, and now to be part of it. And actually, for me, it's about giving a voice. We're bringing all these different areas of the industry together, which is fantastic, because that's what the industry really needs.
Yeah. And
so because we're doing that and being able to be, my voice, from an installation side of things, that's, as I say, that's how I see my position, is about speaking about installation to them, coming at them from an installer's point of view, but also encouraging other installers to be part of it, get involved, and see what it's all about.
So where did that come from? In the sense of, obviously you were an installer.
Yep.
What made you come to the point where you become, you feel like you need to be a voice for installers?
I don't know. It's just, as I said, when I first became aware of the IKBBI, I met Damien in Dundee, a Dreich night in Dundee. And it's in some hotel, and he's doing his presentation for the IKBBI, as it was at that time.
Yeah.
And in that room, there must have been 50 different installers there. And when we walked out of that room after the presentation, there was 49 of them that were all, it's just a cash grab, and nah, this is not for me. And that in itself, when I was looking for something, which is why I was there in the first place, we think about the climate, why everybody was there. We're in a financial collapse had happened in 2008. This was into 2009. And so lots of people were looking for work. MFI had gone under. There was lots of people lost a lot of work at that time, and that's why people were there. And so when people walked away and didn't see the value in it, just that little thing in itself made me think differently and think, you know what, I'm going to attach myself to this and I'm going to find out a lot more about this. And the more I dug into it, the more I found that just how positive it was and how genuine it was. That they just wanted to make things better for the industry. And I know lots of people, lots of installers look at things and they want it to be better just for them. And that's very difficult. It's got to be collective. And that's what the BiKBBI do. It's collective. And now even more so, now that we're pulling in manufacturers and retailers and recruiters and so I'm just one of those voices amongst all those different people. And I'm not saying that I know it all at all. Am I the voice of installation? No, I'm not. I'm just one voice. And that's why I openly encourage other people to reach out to Damon. If you've got an opinion about installation and how things could be made better, then voice it. But voice it in the right way. It's not about coming in with no negativity or aggression with it. It's about position it right. Get the argument clear, and they will absolutely listen to you. This is really about positive change. And you know what? They've grown positively over the years, and you know the future's bright as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we would like to actually get your view on something that Tom said was with their new certification. The draw for them on that was that it wasn't just a case of being a register. You know, you weren't just registering; you were essentially putting out that essentially you are doing the right thing. You're doing everything in the right way.
Setting your stall out. So you're separating yourself. You're telling your customers and your clients, you know what? This is the kind of business that we want to be. And by associating yourself with someone who's progressive and moving forward, this is who we're going to be. And hopefully that customers in other business will attach themselves to that. That's what I guess that they're trying to do. They're setting out their stall. No different to, that's what I did to my customers. You know what? From an installation side of things, I very quickly realized that if I was a good installer, there was thousands of good installers out there. What made me any different to them? It wasn't installation. It had to be something different. So if a customer was going to choose me or the other guy, what would that be? We've all got good reviews. We've all got reputations. We're all, that's a great company. So when it starts getting tighter and tighter as to why a customer would choose you, this was something I felt I could hang my hat on, and for all the right reasons. It was about that we were showing the customer that we had all our certifications, that our insurance was up to date, that we had our asbestos certificates. When you're looking at the other guy, does he, doesn't he? I don't know. And neither does the customer. So it's just these little micro things, and sometimes it's small hinges open big doors. It's sometimes just the little things that make the difference. And that, for me, was the beginning of my connection with the BiKBBI.
Yeah, definitely. I think it shows, I suppose, what they've done with this AIM certification is essentially they're trying to take that whole process that step further now. And I think it's interesting that you say that you were one of the only guys in the room out of the 50 that took it up at the start. Because it demonstrates that what you were looking to do is be that kind of something different.
Something different. That's really, everybody's trying to be. You've got to be different. You've got to stand out. And yes, maybe at that moment in time, it was right at the beginning. It was just about standing out. It was just about being different. Again, for what it cost. I mean, in the grand scheme of what it cost to be part of, to be associated with them, it was nothing. And so so in doing that, then it gave me access to learning more about it. You know, if you've got like that, I would say if you've got a gym membership and you don't use it, you're not getting a six pack. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But so it's no different with the BiKBBI. If you've got a membership to, it doesn't even have to be them. It could be any kind of association.
Yep.
If you've got that connection with that association and you're not using it and you're not getting involved, the value of it goes down, and that's not their fault. It's on you to use it and get out there. As I said, I can't blame the gym because of my stomach. Do you know what I mean? That's on me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I see similarities there.
Definitely. So with the installer show, I suppose obviously, you've got a lot of installers here. You've obviously got retailers here now as well. We've got loads of different kind of mix of people. But what would be your advice to installers at the moment?
You know what, installers being here. Obviously, by the time this comes out, by the time we're talking about it, it's after the fact. So first things first, get Installer 2026 on the calendar.
Yep.
That in reality, there's so much going on here. They need to come and they need to put themselves out there. Again, it's about investment in yourself and your business. I know that it costs money to. I've flown from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Because this is important.
Yeah, and that is a testament, isn't it?
It's not just financial, it's physical, that's everything. Because I can understand the importance of being here. And all your peers are here, all the companies that you want to be part of, all the business owners that are here. You can have, just different retailers. There could be MHK. Do you know what I mean? Come and meet the guys that are running that. Do you know what I mean? You get to meet CEOs here. You get to meet the guys at the top. Who wouldn't want that?
That is something. And to be fair, I hadn't even thought of that. Jimmy, you come to a place like this, you literally get first-hand kind of connection with a CEO.
If you want to go up there and speak to him and tell them about something about their product or what they use or how this could be better, they will welcome you with open arms to come and speak to them. And you get to see everything all in one room. Yeah. But at the same time, what the Installer Show gets so right is they're having fun with it. Yeah. And they're playing, I could see over here, they're playing darts over there.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's I'm not, being in North America, I'm not up to speed on my darts, but I'm sure it's some kind of world champion or something they've got over there. And so there's just all this buzz going about and a bit of fun mixed in with hard work.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, obviously, you come to an event like this, like, if you're going to take the time out of your day, like, in most situations, you're taking a day off of, like, your primary job.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the difficulty, and I do appreciate it because most businesses, from an installer's point of view, most businesses are micro. They're one-man band. So to come to this, to spend, to get a hotel, you're losing an installation. To lose an installation, that's a lot of money. But so it's what you can get from it.
Yeah,
being here.
Yeah, oh no, definitely.
Advertising to your customers that this is why I'm here, and how this is going to benefit you.
Yeah.
So putting that out there and positioning yourself, within the industry as to just someone that's trying to be better and talk about your company. You have an opportunity here to come along. If someone walked up to you and said, "Kevin, would you interview me?"
Yeah. No.
You
definitely.
would.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So, just like me.
And but last year, obviously, I came up, and luckily you lent me a tripod because I didn't have one, and I went round and I did a podcast episode purely on just chatting to some of the exhibitors.
Yes, and now you're connected with these people, and now you speak to them all the time.
Exactly.
And now if you ask them, there's not any problem. That wouldn't have happened if you hadn't invested in coming here.
Exactly, and I think it is. Would you say, obviously you talk about losing an installation, would you say then that it's not worth coming up just for a day? You're probably not going to get the same benefit as coming up for a few days.
That's hard work. It depends on where you are in the country.
Yeah.
To try and get from Inverness to Birmingham, that's a tall order. And I'm going to say the majority of people, the show starts at 10, it ends at 5. Are you really going to go and take the train back or wherever it is? Yeah. It doesn't matter really how you juggle it. It's going to cost money,
Yeah.
but it's that value that you can get out of it, and it's using that in always. What you'll learn here, there's so many talks going on about apprenticeships, about careers, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And you can learn about these kinds of things. That is a value to your company. You may think, well, I'm never taking on an apprentice. I'm never going to be doing. I'm just going to work on my own for the next 50 years. And
Yeah.
But you know what? Never say never.
I would definitely say, like, speaking to a few people today, that not necessarily on the podcast, but just in general, like, there are mixed views on apprenticeships, and I think the problem is nobody, everybody still has a little bit, there's some people that still have an old view of what an apprenticeship is. But do you think like a show like the Installer Show will help kind of foster the right kind of approach in the future?
100%. Because you know what it does? It starts the conversation. Now that conversation's been going on for a little while now, so in that sense it keeps the conversation going. It's putting it front and centre. We're sitting talking about it now. If you're not here and I'm not here, we're not sitting talking about it. You know what I mean? The Installer Future stand is just there. There's young people coming in. They're seeing what's going on here. They're perhaps meeting people that they see online and they're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, Sophie the plumber is kicking around here. Do you know what I mean? There's a mentor or someone for young girls to look at to what they could become. She's doing great things on social media. So there are people here who could be mentors for young people, and that's what's so fantastic. It's touching all areas, but as I say, it's growing that conversation about the future.
The interesting thing to say about that is, obviously we met online, essentially.
Yes.
And then sort of brief, I think we caught each other at BiKBBI, one of the awards.
Awards, yeah, a couple of years
But the
ago.
funny thing with, obviously this time of the year, so the podcast started sort of about around a year ago, and you were obviously the first guest that actually came on the podcast, and it was literally around now. So it was quite funny. But yeah, I think the thing with online, the amount of people that I've kind of connected with online, and then you come to an event like this, and it's hi.
Yeah.
Like,
So
there's things that have broken the ice already, but like,
some of those profile pictures need updated. I'll just put that out there. We need to get away from those profile pictures 15 years ago, and probably mine included. But yeah, because sometimes you look at someone, you're like, oh, do I know you? Do I not know you? And like, wait a minute, no, I think you're a bit grayer in real life.
Someone's got it a little bit too close. Or...
Yeah, there's something going on. So, but yeah, you get to meet the people that you meet online, and it's just like a big.
It's just an extension, I think, and by bringing everybody in, it allows that. I think that's the thing. I think, this show. Obviously, I exhibited at KBB Birmingham.
Yes.
And the two shows are very different.
Yes.
And I think the Installer Show have worked that fun element in, and just keeping people. Everybody wants to better their business, but they also want to have a bit of fun and not.
It's like I look at like KBIS in North America.
Yeah.
So we've got the NKB is KBIS over there, and they have the Builders Show going on next door that runs at the same time. Now you can access both of them, and they're both very different.
Yep.
So the KBIS is very designer led, and everything's just beautiful when you go there. The booths and the displays, and oh my goodness, it's just amazing. But then you go into the Builders Show side of things, and it's like this. It's fun, and there's demonstrations going on, and so you've got that heavy trade side of things.
Yeah.
And this is just like if you push both of them together, and I think that's where you can get a real cross of audience. That you've got retailers here, you've got manufacturers here, you've got installers here. It's all going on. This is definitely a great model that they've got happening here for sure.
Oh, brilliant. So let's talk about SENSTEC.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Very good. It's it's been a real education for me, learning about obviously being an installer all my life. I already knew about SENSTEC. We were installing them previously in my last company, and so to really, you work with a product and you think you know it, and then then I really work with this product, and now I'm spearheading that in the United States, but it's only when you really start digging into it and you think, oh no, I thought this was good, but this, I really get it now. No, because I'm digging into it. I'm digging into the patent. I remember going really into the patent, sitting reading a patent. Late night reading on a patent is not something I would encourage, but I did, and you get into it and you're like, oh wow, right, okay, and just things evolve, and so that's been, I've really enjoyed that side of it. The learning side of things has been so different, but obviously coming over from it being a manufactured product to learning about how it's manufactured, where it comes from, and then trying to pass that message over to a customer. I'm selling a product rather than a service.
Yep.
Very different, but somewhat the same. So just finding those right messages, but then throw in that it's a North American market, so language is different. So we're talking about shower pans instead of shower trays.
Yes, I didn't even think about that.
So all these different subtleties, but that can change because all the states in America are very different, and so language could be very different.
Yes.
So again, when we look at marketing that, and we look at online marketing, we have to watch when we're doing target marketing. Say it was Google Ads, we've got to watch the words that were used, whether it be in Ohio or whether it be in Florida or whether it be in Los Angeles. There could be subtle differences. So learning all about that has just been. It's just an education. It's just been fantastic.
Definitely.
I've really enjoyed that.
Obviously, we were talking just before we came on about how everybody wants the videos of people falling down. Down not your tray,
but with
with
the German ramp test. Yeah, no, a nice little display there showing you SENSTEC on a 30-degree angle, which has been tested before anyone would slip. So yeah, it's. That's what people want to see, people falling on it on a shower tray rather than how safe it is. They want to know how unsafe it is.
Yes.
But SENSTEC, there's nothing like it out there. Yeah. Very unique product. I encourage everyone to, it's about education, and if you could go to the websites, whether it be the UK or the US, you'll learn so much. And education can never be a bad thing. You take that forward and you can help your customers. And again, that's what I did with Liberty. We would install SENSTEC, and the feedback we got of it. And again, that's why that's why getting involved with SENSTEC and Christopher and this product, that's why it really drew me, because I knew the product on that level, and I knew the feedback that I was getting, and how much it was helping people and keeping people safe. So yeah, I encourage people to visit my website, SENSTEC-USA.com, and it's a great product.
Brilliant. So to round up, is there anything that, for everybody listening, is there anything, I think if we go specifically for installers, is there anything that you think that they should be, bar coming to the Installer Show next year, is there anything particular that you think to help the industry? I know you've talked a bit about people being more vocal and being kind of part of the voice of the industry. Is that something that you're?
I think being part of something. I think everybody bangs on about apprenticeships.
Yeah.
And when we have an industry of kitchen and bathroom installers who are made up predominantly small, micro, one-man businesses, when the conversation of apprenticeships comes up, it becomes a difficult one.
Yeah,
it really does. Again, with how salaries work, everybody's wanting the living wage, and you have to, you need to invest in your future, so you need to pay people well. But then what happens is you end up with this salary for a trainee is just that little bit too close to what the installer is, or the subcontractor.
I come across this as well, and not even just for apprentices, but anyway, someone that's come on that's sort of a bit more junior, and you'll get someone that say, "I didn't earn that when I was their age."
You know what? It's not that I think there's anything wrong with paying an apprentice well.
No.
It's not about that. But really, what it's about is it comes down to this value of trades. So trades has this stigma of being No, very low, working class, low level.
Yeah.
If you don't stick in at school, you'll end up on a building site. Whereas actually, it's a great thing, and it's a huge skill. It's something to be proud of being a tradesman. And if we can get that back again, and in the public, get trades being seen as a value, and people be willing to pay for a great tradesman and a great individual, then those individuals and those businesses could earn more money, which allows them to put the tradesman's salary up, which allows them to cope with the higher salaries of a trainee.
Yeah.
It's all linked in all sorts of different ways, and there's a lot of work to be done.
Definitely.
It's not just about we need more apprentices. There's so many different areas that we need to look at to make this bigger and better.
Yeah, and I quite welcome the conversation of it, because when I was at school, it was a case of, I know people that wanted to go train to be plumbers and electricians and things like that, and they couldn't get anything.
Yes.
Like, so when you actually had someone that wanted to go into the trade,
yes,
as such, but they couldn't. And even a family member, they went to college, done electrical, and they couldn't get a job.
Yep.
So in the end, they went and done something.
That's kind of what's happening now. That there's young people out there wanting apprenticeships, and we don't have the businesses to take them on.
Yeah.
And so again, part of that is about encouraging small micro businesses to grow, and if we could get them, to have a passion and a want to grow, and encourage that, then they'll have a business that's big enough to sustain and support having a trainee.
Yeah.
And if you grow that business, you're then growing a brand. You're not growing an individual.
Yep.
And so therefore, when you have that brand, you're protected, because one individual can't leave you and then compete against your brand.
Yeah.
They could compete against you as an individual, but not as a company.
Yeah.
And so I encourage any installers out there to make that leap and try and get advice.
Yeah.
Go and see a coach.
I think,
but get advice to grow that business.
One thing to just point on that actually as well is that if you build your business as a brand, essentially you are building a real business.
Yes.
By doing that as well, most tradespeople that I come across don't have a pension plan. No. And they don't have a real. There's not a real. It's kind of I'll think about that a bit later. And as you build a business, the difference between a business is, one, you can sell it in the future,
yes.
And if you can't, if you don't go down that route, you've built a business that, if you build it in the right way, could sustain you not working as well.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot. You just get a lot more options.
Well, you grow that little bit, and then you get off the tools.
Yeah.
Especially when we talk about an aging workforce.
Yeah.
Then you've got a route to getting off the tools, and that's how I managed to grow Liberty. Was because I came off the tools, and so we had the installers installing, and I was able to concentrate and learn about business and how to run that company. And that was a whole other other thing. But again, it was
that's a whole other episode.
But it was education. Do you know what I mean? And you suddenly saw this starting to work, and you're like, what, I'm onto something here.
No, definitely.
And so
definitely. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. It's been
thanks
great.
for having me.
Well, thanks for having me.
That's true.
But no, it's been great, and I appreciate obviously you inviting me to come and do this here.
No, I'm glad you could come,
it's
and
really great.
I hope the rest of your conversations have went well.
Yep, they've been really good.
Okay, thank you, Kev.
Thanks.